Welcome everyone, my name is Polymax. Today I'm bringing you the top plays for week number 9 of GBA Season 8. It will just be me from now on. Dom has unfortunately had to step down from top plays. He has some real life stuff that he will be figuring out, so he's had to step down for the remainder of the season. However, I will be sticking around and it will be just me for the remainder of the season. So with that being said, let's get right into the top plays for week 9. Coming in at number 5, we have a staple of the top plays. We have Envy of the San Diego Chim Chargers. He was taking on Coach Z and the Columbus Chew. Now, this might not seem like a massive play into what he did, but the impact it had on the game is what really is big here. So, predicting Coach Z to go with the slack off with the hip out on, he decides to go for the U-turn here with his Gligar and go and pull the switch out into Empoleon. And sure enough, he does get the prediction right, and Hippowdon does go for the slack off. Now at this point, his Empoleon is in Torrent range, and because he knows that he can now take out Hippowdon from where it was at, where earlier he could not. So he does go for the Surf, and this is going to be able to take out the Hippowdon thanks to the Torrent boost, which now eliminates the Sand Setter from the game, as Escadrille is really the only offensive threat that Coach Z had remaining against Envy's team. So with the Sand going away and it losing its speed boost, it was no longer a threat and set up the Envy victory. Coming in at number 4, we have a great piece of prep from Gator of the Florida Gators against Chimpact and the Philadelphia Scizors. And talk about taking away a threat turn 1. He goes and leads off with his max HP, max Spadef, Assault Vest Mamoswine, as Chimpact leads off with his Greninja. Now because of this, he can go and take any hit from this Greninja, including the Hydro Vortex, which Chimp is going to go for. And because of the max HP, max Spadef Assault Vest, he does in fact choose a hit, and even with no attack investment, he is able to OHKO the Greninja with the superpower, and this eliminated maybe the best offensive threat that Chimp had against Gator's team. I say maybe, most likely, definitely the best threat that he had, and it really set up the Gators' victory here and getting a huge win over Chimpact. Coming in at number 3, and we have another huge turn 1 play, which eliminates a big offensive threat right off the bat. And that's coming from Aster J and the Montreal Habsols as he took on Wolfie and the Milwaukee Bewares. Turn 1, Aster leads off with his Zoroark disguised as Mega Lopunny, as Wolf leads off with his Entei. This Entei was one of the few really good offensive threats that Wolf had in matchup here against Aster, so eliminating it early would do well. So he leads off with his Zoroark, again disguised as Mega Lopunny, and he goes and surprises Wolf with the Focus Sash counter. As Wolf goes for the Sacred Fire, he goes and brings Zoroark all the way down to its Sash, and he goes and reveals the counter, which obviously OHKOs the Entei. And one of the best offensive threats that Wolf had in this matchup was now gone. This was a very important turn. It really set the tone for the entire battle. From this point on, Aster had complete control and dominated Wolf from the outset of the battle. It's a huge play, a huge turn 1, and comes in at number 3 on this list. At number 2, we have Pokieaim, aka Joey, and the Bronx Bearticks taking on Jolt and the Kansas City Jirachis in what Jolt called him getting stunted on by Joey. Joey goes and has his Licky Licky in against the Mega Venusaur, and he has a wish up in the air. He knows that Jolt is going to go for Roar. He'd already revealed for Roar, and he knows that Joey's going to want to get a wish into something. So what he does, he goes in the only thing on his team that doesn't need the wish, and the one thing that doesn't take on Mega Venusaur well, in his Zygarde 50%, as Jolt does in fact go for the Roar. This allows him to get roared out, luckily enough, into his Necrozma, which immediately put a ridiculous amount of pressure on Jolt. It goes and gets his Necrozma back up to full health, and it went and set up the momentum for the rest of the game in favor of Joey, just as Jolt was potentially bringing the momentum back. Gave Jolt his second loss of the season, gets a huge win for Joey, and comes in at number 2 on this list. Coming in at number 1, we have Crimson Seabat and the Detroit Steel Wings as he took on Gym Leader Geo and the San Francisco Giants. This was a very long game with a lot of great plays and a lot of great prep from Crimson, but comes down right to the end where he goes and sets up his way to win. He has in his Thundy Eye against the Blacephalon, and there is a future sight in the air. So what he decides to do is predict the Mind Blown from the Blacephalon, which will then make it take 50% recoil and then die to the future sight. So he goes for the substitute, and sure enough, he gets a prediction right, and the Blacephalon goes for the Mind Blown, which, as I just mentioned, is going to put the Blacephalon in range of the future sight. This then allowed him to have the Thundy Eye to be able to get the damage off on the Haxorus to prevent Haxorus from getting set up enough where it could still sweep his team. It put the Haxorus in range of the Accelerock from his Lycanroc, so he was able to pick up the victory, a huge victory here near the end of the season, a huge confidence booster for Crimson, and a great play, and I thought it deserved to be number 1 on this list. And those are our top plays for week number 9 of GBA Season 8. Do you agree? Let us know down in the comments if you think we got these plays right, or if you think a play should have been higher, or you think we missed a play altogether. With that being said, I'm Gator here. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.